And yeah, stage 4 is very short. Only 3 stages instead of 4. So yes, this is one of those ones where if you're not in place when the eagle goes blasting along like that, you'll get knocked off like that, and wow, again with the easier, it's a much stronger win in the Super NES version. Oh yeah, you want to grab the egg before she hatches it, and somehow triplets come out of a single egg. Bounce. This is again where being able to jump and throw to the left would be very nice. And you can also use the baby birds. Doesn't really matter overly much which you use there. Oh, and even throwing to the side while standing there. Still can't actually pick the thing up. Come on. Ah, damn it. I was trying to avoid... Wow, that's annoying. Sure, we'll take the damage, it doesn't really matter much. Nearly done with the stage now. There we go, okay. Okay. Going into stage 5, the ice area. The obligatory ice area. And hiccups out of nowhere, what the hell? It's... Aw, man. These little berry things in the Super NES version had an awesome sound effect. But I guess it was not recreated here. Just had a really cool boing sound effect. Let's see. This is a thing you can do here in the ice world. Although it's kind of tricky. Here, let's try from this here. Maybe this will be a bit easier. There. I want to go the other way, of course. Hey, extra life, nifty. But yeah, that is a thing you can do here in the ice world. Kind of fun. Not really ever entirely necessary, it's always just for extra stuff. Like so. Oh, joy. Points! Everybody loves points when they're pointless. Like, I don't think you even get extra lives at certain point totals or anything. Maybe that's where that bonus 100 coins came from, you know, out of nowhere in that first stage, but I don't know. Yeah, these little ice sleds are not always a good thing to be riding on. But in spots like that, they are quite necessary. And yeah, again, very, very short stage. Okay, so this boss, the giant skating walrus, you have options, you can bounce on the head, You can shoot him with water, or you can hit him with the turbine. And you might be able to use the climbing grappling hook on, you know, the other one there, but never really tried that. It seems like it would be more trouble than it's worth. Let's switch over to this. It's not gonna work out so well, I guess. Oh. And I guess only with the water can you hit him anywhere and have it work. Gotta go aiming for the head with the magic powers. There we go, getting there. Oh, and already done. Awesome. I have to say, on the whole, these bosses seem like they have a whole lot of health. A whole lot less health, I should say, actually. Speaking correctly. But yeah. Much less health, it seems, than their SNES counterparts. Okay, final area. Emperor Pete's Castle. And yeah, story is not really this game's forte. It's a very, very basic story, not really too much to it. But the gameplay is definitely fantastic. Hey now, what's that nodding? And it's just points anyway, who cares? Little grapey, blueberry-y thing jigs. These are interesting. Apparently harder to time here in this Game Boy version. Good to note. Yeah, you just sink down in them, the lower you sink, the higher you'll jump. Just can't sink too low, otherwise you will end up falling down through them. Okay. So this first area stage, well, actually no, kind of most of the areas in the Emperor's Castle are a bit of a maze to get through with multiple different areas you can explore, and a number of different exit heads, which will take you to various locations. Some are better to go in than others. There are a number that will lead to sort of total dead ends where you have to reface a boss. So basically you want to try and avoid all of the boss rehashes. I think there are some that you can't avoid, but we'll find out as we go. Also, the game does pull a bit of a dick move near the end in 6-4, but we will see that when we get there. Also, I hated this area when I was actually playing through on the original system, just for all these damn spikes and having to use the magic carpet to get through this portion. And yeah, I have to say, overall, I really would not recommend playing this version. I would say, get your hands on the Super NES version one way or another. Go with that instead. Better music, you can see more of the screen at once, although I will say that this version is actually pretty good for that. Like, there's not a lot of really noticeable loss to the screens. Like, a lot of times, like, when we get to Donkey Kong Country on Game Boy Advance, or Sonic the Hedgehog on Game Boy Advance, it's incredibly noticeable how much of the screen is missing. But here, they did a really good job of, you know, preserving the stages and keeping it not really horrendous looking. And yes, you can squash those guys farming the cannons, but you don't really need to. It's far easier to just walk right on past them. Now, this is the point, I think. I'm trying to remember. I think this is one of the boss rehashes right here. Yeah, that's him there. I'm just trying to remember. Yeah, that's just one of those things. This is one of the spots where we can skip at least one of the bosses. There's another boss rehash. Him again. I think the fire guy is the only one we will have to go after for certain. Pretty sure we can skip all the rest. Yeah, right. There we go. That'll do. How far can we go up here? Okay, that is top floor. Oh hey, and here's that thing. I think to the right is... Yep, to the right is the fire guy, and to the left is the final boss. So there's the dick move. You have a 50-50 shot of actually reaching the final boss. And yeah, among all the various Sonic Advance games, they did do a plain port of the original Sonic the Hedgehog for Game Boy Advance, and it did not turn out well. Dang it. Shoot and then turn. There we go. There we go. And those give you all sorts of lovely item refills, but I don't think you get any health refills or anything. Go ahead and switch here. Hell. Well, anyways. And I don't know of any ports on Game Boy Advance that were better than the original. Like, every port I can think of on Game Boy Advance is pretty god-awful. But I mostly know of stuff that was ported over from, like, Super NES and NES, and a small handful from Genesis. So, you know, there's not really too much that could have been good in the first place. So we definitely missed some of the upgrades that I usually get. Like, I normally have either 5 or 6 hearts when I get to this particular boss battle. Doesn't matter much as long as he still has less health than he did on the Super NES. Like all the previous bosses, we'll be fine. So that was really easy to get through, and I could have done so before, but I think it's better off to not be at 1 HP for the entire boss battle. And yes, that is an annoying thing that will happen with the blue fire. Usually you can get either 1 or 2 hits off before he starts preparing for his next spell. If you're insanely lucky and or good, you might be able to get 3 hits off, like that. But anyways, yeah. And now we get the nice ending music. Which is actually pretty well rendered here. It's actually a pretty good match to the original. And it was all a dream. Don't you love it when a game pulls that? Super Mario Bros. 2 gets special exception because almost all of the enemies from it have returned in later games, and even the qualities that the characters had, like Toad running fast and Peaches floating, all that stuff came back, so it did matter beyond that dream. Other stuff like this, though... oh well, still a really fun game. The second game, I think, was not as good. I thought the costumes were all pretty terrible. Stages were not really that fun. The bosses were not anywhere near as interesting or fun to fight against. And just the whole circus theme throughout was kind of bothersome to me. But the third one, I think, is really good again. Okay, so there was an item in each stage. We got the broom only. Maybe we should have done more grinding, who knows, who cares. I don't even know where the store is in that final area. Actually, there were 5 items there, and there are 6 stages, so what the hell. Anyways, doesn't matter. Hope you folks have all enjoyed. Definitely one of the better games from Capcom and Disney.